I was watching Doug Walker's review of his nostalgia critic review of Mamma Mia, and whether or not it's an expansion of how he really feels about it, and apparently it is, or it's just him being the critic for this review. I watched it and I thought to myself, perhaps he has a point. Now, I'm I for one know that Mamma Mia is sort of a chick flick in a sense that if you like Mamma Mia, you like Mamma Mia. There's no doubt about it. If you have the right to like it, you have the right to like it. You know, if you want to watch the movie, you have the right to watch the movie. You know, but if you want to watch the movie, like I say, you have the right to watch the movie. There's no doubt about it. You're a fan of the movie, you have a right to be a fan of the movie. So, as I was watching his review, the more I thought about it, the more I realized, you know what? It's not just Mamma Mia. It's a chick flick sometimes, depending on how you look at it. But the chick flick genre, if you will, and no offense to any ladies out there, but the chick flick genre is one of those genres that crosses over into other medias, if you will. For one, they will cross over into television. And by crossing over into television, you have, well, the chick flick channels, or channels that basically are in that same category as a chick flick. You might say to yourself, Brian, well, what channels are these? Well, I've talked about two of them before in an audio vid here on my channel, and those two are Hallmark and Lifetime. See, Hallmark and Lifetime, well, Lifetime is pretty much said in their subtitles for their channel that they're a channel for women. And basically, I think they should now be known more for Lifetime were television's version of the Inquirer or the Globe. That's what they should be. Because basically, if you take a look at some of the movies they've done, the biopics, if you will, they've not shown anybody in a bright light. They really haven't. So, to me, if you're going to talk about, any of these, if you're going to talk about any of these, being a woman's channel or a chick flick channel in a sense, with all due respect, you got to go with Hallmark. Because Hallmark basically has this habit, if you will, of every other week of every month showing and premiering a movie with basically the same premise, the same storyline, the same outcome. The only difference is they add in different elements here and there to try to make it seem different, to make it seem like it's a different movie and it's not the same movie. But it is. I mean, their tagline should be when they're previewing or talking about a new movie coming, the tagline should be coming such and such a date, coming Saturday, da 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 da, 2015. It's so and so movie starring blah blah blah, starring this person, that person. Which, oh, by the way, is the same movie you saw that premiered 2 weeks ago. The only difference is we've added in a few new characters and a few new elements, a few new characters here and there to try to spice it up a little bit. But it's still the same movie and it premieres. It's like, If they would do stuff like that, honestly, they'd at least be telling the people tuning into the channel that, hey, you're watching the same movie, we just added a few things here and there. And that's with all due respect. Because it seems that the only time they ever really show variety is during the holiday season. Now, it's not to say that they don't have variety. They do. You know, they have their talk shows like Home and Family. They have the variety of classic sitcoms, if you will, like Golden Girls and Frasier and even Cheers. But, you know, and that's all okay. That's all fine. At least you're giving a little bit of variety there. But that's after afternoon and primetime hours. I mean, how many times basically is Hallmark going to show the same kind of made-for-television chick flick over and over again? How many times are they going to do that? How many times are they going to keep doing that week after week after week after week and premiering the same movie over and over again? The only difference is, oh, it's a different title, it's different elements, it has some difference in elements, blah, blah, blah. But, oh, by the way, you know, it's totally different, which it's not. You know, which it's not, kind of deal. You know, how many times are they going to do that? It's not so different, is it? When it's the same movie over and over and over again. It's not the same movie. It's not the same movie. Sorry about that, I was checking something. You know, it's not the same movie when you do that. And that basically makes, and I hate to say this with all due respect to Hallmark, it makes them a chick flick channel. You know, Lifetime has the tagline, like I mentioned earlier, of being a channel for women. Of being one of those channels for women, one of the main channels. I think, in a sense, they should give that tagline to Hallmark, along with TNT giving their tagline of the place for drama to Hallmark, and thus Hallmark can redub themselves, we're the Hallmark Channel, the new home for women and the new home for drama. Because like I said, with the exception of the holiday season, with the exception of maybe certain holidays, like let's say Valentine's Day, but still it's the same stories there, but mainly with the exception of the Christmas holiday season, it's always the same thing over and over again. And for some odd reason, Hallmark finds a way to attract women to it. But here's what's pretty cool. But here's what I respect about the women. Here's what I respect about all women out there. And that is, a majority of the women out there will look at something like Hallmark and they will agree exactly with what me and Doug Walker will say. And that is, these are chick flicks. They are just the same thing over and over again. And they need to stop doing that. Because they're essentially being nothing more than a chick flick channel. Same with We. Now, We has an excuse. They've come out and said, hey, we're the television for women. We're the television channel for women. That's great and all. That's great and all. So at least they come and acknowledge it. And they show it. But channels like Hallmark are the chick flick channel. And they overdo it. I mean, it's one thing to have a chick flick movie with a different storyline, different characters and all that. And some can be good. Pretty Woman's a good example of a good one. But But it's basically the premise of, hey, we're using the same storyline, same tagline, but oh, by the way, it's just different characters and a few elements here and there to make it different. And yet it's not. So to me, it's mainly the fact that what really hurts the chick flick genre, the date movie genre, if you will, chick flick, whatever you want to call it, is not the movies themselves. It's just the repetitiveness of using the same freaking style of movie, same freaking storyline over and over again. And when you have places like Hallmark, We, Lifetime, always doing that at certain times, and try to make it different by saying, oh, we're adding this character in, that character in, we're adding this element in, that element in, but it's still the same freaking story, it doesn't always work. Now, I know you're thinking, well, it works sometimes. Yeah, it does, but it all depends on who writes the story. Mainly, it seems that with the Hallmark made for television movies, the Lifetime ones and the We ones, it's the same writers. They could just go back and use the same script. Only thing they do is add in different characters, add in a few different elements, maybe scenes, and that's it. But it's the same movie. It's the same story. And I'm sorry, that's what hurts the chick flick. Because like I said, there are good ones out there. Watching Star Trek Dick Walker's review of Mamma Mia, you'll see that. There are good ones out there. So to me, what really hurts the chick flick genre is the repetitiveness of doing the same story in the same in the same story in a movie made for television or theatrical, time and time again. And that needs to stop. What needs to happen is originality, and you guys all know that.